How we doing, everybody? Ooh, I'm looking really pale here. I can fix that. Just give me a moment. Thanks for joining. I see G the Bumblebee here already. I've actually got to fix a couple things here. Let me see here. Configure video. Just got to hit this thingy right here. There, now I'm back to normal. Wait, okay. There's a couple things I have to do here. I just realized I did not set the game capture to be on the right thing, so let me do that. Properties. Gotta do Dear Esther. Done. Okay, so now I can actually get into it. Oh, well, you'll have to find out when I play the game. I've got to get a little something of an intro to it. Oop, there's the sound. How do you like that? Okay. So prepare to relax. If you don't know what a walking simulator is, well, let me adjust my webcam just a little bit here. Like cutting off the top of my head a little. So this is probably the first game to be titled a walking simulator. Basically, there's not much to it at all. It's like what you might call like a visual novel or something like that. It's first person, just very nice, attractive graphics. You walk through the environment and you just sort of take on, this. You just sort of listen in on just narration and try to understand sort of what the plot is. I'm not going to give away who Esther is or anything like that, but it's very abstract and interesting. Some might find it weird, but I wanted to do something real. This isn't even a planned stream. I just wanted to do something tonight, and I like to once in a while revisit this game to just relax and think, and maybe we'll just talk about what's going on, and you guys can comment on some theories on what the plot is, because it's not even clear. It's open to interpretation. So if you find it boring, that's fine, but I'm just here to relax tonight. So let's do it. Let me go back. So this is the Landmark edition. It's actually compatible with my Xbox controller, so that's nice. I'm going to go ahead and say start, and we'll start right at the beginning. So here we go.
Dear Esther, I've lost track of how long I've been here, and how many visits I have made overall. Certainly the landmarks are now so familiar to me that I have to remind myself to actually see the forms and shapes in front of me. I could stumble blind across these rocks, the edges of these precipices, without fear of missing my step and plummeting down to sea. Besides, I've always considered that if one is to fall, it is critical to keep one's eyes firmly open.
It's very interesting. The narration is like, it's this weird balance of being, it kind of makes sense, but it's also abstract. And like, I often find I hear what he said, but I have no idea what it meant. When I thought I did, it's like, it sounds like it makes sense. Anyways, I gotta fix something here. I'm gonna put on language. Yeah, I know I wanted it in English, but I want subtitles. Video? Is it in video somewhere? That would be nice. No? Where is it? Audio? Closed captions, yes. Enable them. Large? No, let's leave them, see how they look. Okay. So, back to the game. We can look around here. Yeah, they really polished this up for the new edition. I find the game pretty moving, even though it's not 100% certain what's happening. It's just very artistic. I enjoy it. I just realized one more thing I gotta fix. Sorry, everybody. I don't think my... Wow, I have a whole bunch of stuff muted here. So, put the chat on the screen. Gotta put the notifications on the stream, that's for sure. Okay. I think that's all that's missing. Okay. So future Future chat should be up there if anybody was wanting that. Back to the game. Okay. Alright, folks. Here we go. Oh, wait, there was one more thing I was going to do. Might as well do it now. There we go. Okay. I think we got it. All writ and steady. So I should see what you guys have to say, and I think I got everything working. Here we go. I think I'm going to go this way. It's actually like the things that are said in the game are kind of randomized. There's like a set of things that the narrator could say in each given part of the game. You even want to call it a game. We shall see. Oh man, whoever was watching left. Guess it's just me here for future viewers. That's okay. We shall see what happens. Na, na, na. Bum, 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 bum. So you'll notice it's actually like, I actually did the commentary on the game at one point. You'll notice it looks like a very pristine, beautiful island. But if you look really closely, you'll realize that there's a lot of pollution, like, everywhere. In the sand, everything. And eventually these sort of decorative, I don't know what you want to call them, things all over the place end up being clues to what everything can kind of mean. Bum, bum, bum.
Those islands in the distance, I'm sure, are nothing more than relics of another time, sleeping giants, somnambulist gods laid down for a final dreaming. I wash the sand from my lips and grip my wrist ever more tightly. My shaking arms will not support my fading diaries.
I guess this game originally was... What was it? It was, they used a mod of another game to build the original, I think. Or they used it... Yeah, it was built off of the back of another game, but then when it was really popular, they eventually, you know, got the engine and made their own game.
Dear Esther, I found myself to be as featureless as this ocean, as shallow and unoccupied as this bay, a listless wreck without identification. My rocks are these bones, and a careful fence to keep the precipice at bay. Shot through me caves, my forehead a mount. This aerial will transmit into me so. All overexposed, the nervous system, where Donnelly's boots and yours and mine still trample. I will carry a torch for you. I will leave it at the foot of my headstone. You will need it for the tunnels that carry me under.
See, there's like a car wreck in the rock here. Just all sort of clues. Da da da. Alright, so now I'm pretty sure that, like, yeah, on the way back there's a sort of a staircase that reconnects us. We can start going up the mountain. Kind of a bummer at the moment. I'm talking to myself. I had a couple viewers there, but they took off. That's okay. They'll just relax and see who shows up. Sound is very realistic. The thing is, there's it's almost frustrating unless you're just willing to give in to the style of it all, that you can't run. The whole point is to take it slow and look at everything. There is no run option.
reading Donnelly by the weak afternoon sunlight. He landed on the south side of the island, followed the path to the bay and climbed the mount. He did not find the caves, and he did not chart the north side. I think this is why his understanding of the island is flawed, incomplete. He stood on the mount and only wondered momentarily how to descend. But then, he didn't have my reasons.
Oh, there's that flashing red light in the distance up there. It's a radio tower. Basically, just designed to be a goal as you go through the game.
When someone died or was dying, or was so ill they gave up what little hope they could sacrifice, they cut parallel lines into the cliff, exposing the white chalk beneath.
What that is?
You could see them from the mainland or the fishing boats, and know to send aid or impose a cordon of protection, and wait a generation until whatever pestilence stalked the cliff paths died along with its hosts. My lines are just for this, to keep any would-be rescuers at bay. The infection is not simply of the flesh.
Well, he has an infection. That's the way he puts it. It is not merely an infection of the flesh. Part of the way they designed this was to make it so you don't know if this island is a metaphor, a dream of some sort, or whether it's literal. And he's just speaking symbolically in a lot of ways.
We're not like Lot's wife, you and I. We feel no particular need to turn back. There's nothing to be seen if we did. No tired old man parting the cliffs with his arms. No gifts or Bibles laid out on the sand for the taking. No tides turning or the shrieking gulls overhead. The bones of the hermit are no longer laid out for the taking. I have stolen them away to the guts of this island, where the passages all run to black, and where we can light each other's faces by their strange luminescence.
Like the poetry of it is so thick that you like lose even a literal sense of what he means sometimes.
Dear Esther, I met Paul. I made my own little pilgrimage. My Damascus, a small semi-detached on the outskirts of Wolverhampton. We drank coffee in his kitchen and tried to connect to one another. Although he knew I hadn't come in search of an apology, reason or retribution, he still spiraled in panic, thrown high and lucid by his own dented bonnet. Responsibility had made him old. Like us, he'd already passed beyond any conceivable boundary of life.
Like us. Kind of gotta guess who Paul is until we get a little more information. This game truly gets beautiful.
Hermit, this seer, this distant historian of bones and old bread, where did he vanish to? Why, asked the farmers. Why, asked Jakobsen. Why bother with your visions at all, if you're just to throw your arms up at the cliff and let it close in behind you and seal you into the belly of the island, a museum shut to all but the most devoted?
Let me do something really quick here. Realize I didn't share this around on Facebook very much. I'd like to see if I can get some people to show up. Let me see here. While we look at the symbols on the wall. Let me see. Yes. There's the stream. Na. Let me see here. Edit post. Let me just do something real quick. Okay. Share it around a little. I'm gonna be careful because last time I shared too quickly on Facebook, I got some glitches. That was no fun. Dum da dum da dum da dum. Okay, I'll just do a couple. See what happens. We got a notification on Twitter here. Let's see what that is. Yep. Someone likes that tweet that I made. Alright, we're back. Let me see. Moving right along. Bum 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 bum. Yeah, this game is not like top of the charts anywhere, so I don't think people are finding my stream by keyword searches or anything like that at the moment. Just hoping some followers show up though. This is mostly for me and for anyone who's in it to see what I'm interested in. That's nobody at the moment, but I can wait.
I've become convinced I am not alone here, even though I'm equally sure it is simply a delusion brought upon by circumstance. I do not, for instance, remember where I found the candles, or why I took it upon myself to light such a strange pathway. Perhaps it is only for those who are bound to follow.
This is interesting. That's where we were at the beginning. Such a lovely place. Oh, nice. Hey, mini human, how's it going? Glad you made it. Doing a pretty slow-paced game tonight. If you're into walking simulators at all. Let me show you something. Should be sending this out in the morning. Oh well, just jumped up to 2 viewers. That's good. I've been alone here with this game for the last while because not a lot of people are looking for this kind of obscure game.
Dear Esther, I have now driven the stretch of the M5 between
How's it going,
Exeter
Rocky?
and Bristol over 21 times. But although I have all the reports and all the witnesses and have cross-referenced them within a millimetre using my ordnance survey maps, I simply cannot find the location. You'd think there would be marks to serve as some evidence. It's somewhere between the turnoff for Sanford and the welcome break services.
One
but
moment.
although I can always see it in my rearview mirror, I have as yet been unable to pull ashore.
So, since some people are just joining now, I'll pause it and give a re-intro. I mean, back at the beginning of the video, I explained a little bit, but this is the first game that was truly considered a walking simulator, I believe, that was like labeled that. I mean, there's been more kind of like this since then. Like I played The Vanishing of Ethan Carter at one point. But anyways. Oh, yeah, no, this is not a Bible study. But yeah, so basically, this is a totally unplanned stream, casual, just for myself, really. I like to revisit this game once in a while. Thing is, it's almost not worthy of being called a game. It's like really like a visual novel. So you just sort of walk around the environment and you just listen to the narration, sort of get clues to what the narrative even is. And so far we hear this voice, this guy sort of talking, this guy's sort of talking about Esther and this island, sort of. And it's unclear whether it's symbolic of something or whether it's a literal island or what. But I'll just keep going and see if you guys can go ahead and comment on your theories of the narrative. It's sort of like intentionally made to have multiple interpretations. So anyways, yes, you're welcome for the webcam. Like I said, yes, should mail that out. Yeah, this game came out 2012-ish, something like that. It's been around for a little bit. So I shall continue. You've missed some narration, but it's so abstract that it's like you don't even have to hear all of it. You kind of have to build on it yourself. Whoops, I almost spilled my drink. Collab. That's possible. A lot of people have been asking me. I'm actually going to be doing a collaborative video probably Sunday. Another channel just contacted me about that. So keep your eyes peeled. We're going to do a new game. What webcam do I use? I just got the new, what's it called? It's the Logitech 4K Brio. That's the one I just got, and so I'll be sending you my.
It's only at night that this place makes any sluggish effort at life. You can see the buoy and the aerial. I've been taking to sleeping through the day in an attempt to resurrect myself. I can feel the last days drawing upon me. There's little point now in continuation. There must be something new to find here. Some nook or some cranny that offers a perspective worth clinging to. I've burnt my bridges. I've sunk my boats and watched them go to water.
Yeah. Ah, thanks. I try to be nice. Yeah, I'll be sending you my old. Well, my old camera is oh, my face is much more washed. Yeah, I can actually tweak that a little bit. Maybe I will. But yeah, I'll be sending you Galaxy Gaming Productions. I'll be sending you my old Logitech. My old camera was Logitech as well, but it's capable of 1080, so that's good. Since you mentioned it, let me just take a look at my face color here. Give me just a moment. Go to webcam, properties, configure, and I just have to do a little of this. Ooh, make myself more pink. Don't overdo it. Like right there. That's pretty good. Okay. There, now I look a little more like a human being. Let me... Done with that, and bingo. Yeah, I didn't expect a big turnout for this game because it's not highly searched anymore. But I wanted to do something tonight. This game always relaxes me. It's a one-sitting kind of game. It takes about an hour and a half to finish it. Oh. Figure I'd just walk on through it. What time is it here? It is 10:44. It's much earlier for you, isn't it? Given where I'm mailing this package. You're across the country from me, I think. Look on the boat there, there's a writing. What's it say?
There must be a hole in the bottom of the boat. How else could new hermits have arrived?
And neither did he eat nor drink. That's what it says. I believe that's a biblical reference. Oh, you got your PC set up. That's awesome. Mm-hmm. So I guess some friends of yours have, Rocky,
I had kidney stones, and you visited me in the hospital.
contacted me and they want to do a
After the operation,
collaborative thing.
when I was still half submerged in anesthetic, your outline and your speech both blurred. Now my stones have grown into an island and made their escape, and you have been rendered opaque by the car of a drunk.
Oh, don't worry. There's no jump scares in this. There's no jump scares in this game. There's some kind of creepy environments and atmosphere and stuff, but that's about it. Oh, John? Yeah. Press Play Go or whatever the name of their YouTube channel is. Yeah, they're wanting to do something on Sunday. We very well probably are gonna. I've got to do a little promo video for it because we want to promote each other's channels.
I've begun my ascent on the windless slope of the western side. The setting sun was an inflamed eye squeezing shut against the light shone in by the doctors. My neck is aching through constantly craning my head up to track the light of the aerial. I must look downwards, follow the path under the island to a new beginning.
This game really gets very beautiful. Some of the environments and stuff. If you guys want to help me out, well, I've been posting about it for a lot of the day, trying to speed things up. But if you want to find my Facebook page, although I think one of you said you don't do Facebook, but
by then shepherding had formalized into a career.
I gotta shut up.
The first habitual shepherd was a man called Jakobsen, from a lineage of migratory Scandinavians. He was not considered a man of breeding by the mainlanders. He came here every summer whilst building the bothy, hoping eventually that becoming a man of property would secure him a wife and a lineage. Donnelly records that it did not work. He caught some disease from his malcontented goats and died 2 years after completing it. There was no one to carve white lines into the cliff for him either.
Nice. What was I saying? I was saying something. It's left me now. Oh, yes. If any of you are on Facebook, feel free to jump over to the page Eric's Talk, Think, Play and share that around, because I only need literally 9 more... I only need like 9 more followers, and I can do the level up program with Facebook, which means I can be monetized, which would be awesome. I'm like way far away from that with YouTube, and my number averages on Twitch are terrible. I'm kind of giving up on Twitch. I mean, I'm still streaming there in case things take off, but you know, it's not been my most successful platform.
At dusk, they did not land. This house built of stone, built by a long-dead shepherd. Contents: my camp bed, a stove, a table, chairs, my clothes, my books. The caves that score out the belly of this island, leaving it famished. My limbs and belly famished. This skin, these organs, this failing eyesight. When the battery runs out in my torch, I will descend into the caves and follow only the phosphorescence home.
Do I like survival games? Depends what you're talking about. Got some examples? They say that's the only jump scare of the game is when the bird flies away. I'm used to it though, I know where it is. Unless you're asking Captain Yoshi there if he likes survival games. He says, yeah. Subnautica. Actually, my brother just mentioned that game to me. I have not played it, but he says it's great. Da-da. Bum bum bum.
In a footnote, the editor comments that at this point, Donnelly was going insane as syphilis tore through his system like a drunk driver. He's not to be trusted. Many of his claims are unsubstantiated, and although he does paint a colourful picture, Much of what he says may have been derived directly from his fever. But I've been here, and I know, as Donnelly did, that this place is always half imagined. Even the rocks and caves will shimmer and blur with the right eyes.
Nice.
They found Jakobsen in early spring. The thaw had only just come. Even though he'd been dead nearly 7 months, his body had been frozen right down to the nerves and had not even begun to decompose. His fingernails were raw and bitten to the quick. They found the phosphorescent moss that grows in the caves deep under the nails. Whatever he'd been doing under the island when his strength began to fail is lost. He'd struggled halfway up the cliff again, perhaps in a delirium, perhaps trying to reach the Bothy's fire before curling into a stone and expiring.
Yeah, I'm aware there's a bit of a lag between comments and my seeing the comments. Part of it's because that's just the way streaming goes, and part of it's because I'm multi-streaming, I think. I send it to Restream, and they send it to multiple platforms. So I think that adds even more time onto the lag. But that's what lets me do it on YouTube, plus Facebook, plus everything. Worth it to me if you guys don't mind it terribly. I try to respond. Boy, oh boy. This game's about to get pretty cool. I mean, nothing terribly exciting happens. Like I said, it's a walking simulator, but yeah. How do I do the comments on the screen? Well, I use Streamlabs. Is the name of my streaming program that sends it out. I had to watch a little YouTube tutorial to do it, but basically, the Restream program that I mentioned has the comment box that I'm able to watch. I'm able to take that URL that you can cut and paste, and you put it into the one of the video capture sources. Kind of hard to explain what all this means. It's better if you see it, but then once it's in there, then you're able to place it.
Climbing down to the caves, I slipped and fell and have injured my leg. I think the femur is broken. It is clearly infected. The skin has turned a bright, tight pink, and the pain is crashing in on waves, winter tides against my shoreline, drowning out the ache of my stones. I struggled back to the bothy to rest, but it has become clear that there is only one way this is likely to end. The medical supplies I looted from the trawler have suddenly found their purpose. They will keep me lucid for my final ascent.
Dun, dun, dun. Sometimes it's nice to sort of take a look around the different side, like, nooks and crannies and stuff, because there's just a lot of the environmental stuff is like a clue to possible interpretations of the game. Oh, this is interesting, actually. Clothing. Oh, wow. See, sometimes when you play this, other times I played it, if you look at this, there's actually books that came out of this chest. So there's certain things that sort of vary each time that you play. That's pretty cool. Like the narration, there's like a list of narrations that could possibly happen. Don't worry, no jump scares in this game. Just slightly creepy environments. Here we go. We're about to enter the next phase of the game. If you've been following the narration, feel free to type up your interpretations of what's going on. I'd be fascinated to see how this game strikes other people. I mean, I've played it multiple times, and I kind of have some ideas of what's going on. But, I don't want to give it away. I mean, there's like a 2 or 3 sort of basic ideas as to what's happening.
Donnelly's addiction is my one true constant. Even though I wake in false dawns and find the landscape changing, flowing in constantly through my tears, I know his reaching is always upon me.
See, now things get nice and it's really beautiful to look at. Look at all this. This is like a therapeutic game. Not even a game, it's just an experience. We can go back and up there eventually.
They'd stop the traffic back as far as the Sanford Junction and come up the hard shoulder like radio signals from another star. It took 21 minutes for them to arrive. I watched Paul time it to the second on his watch.
Boy. Look at this. Aw, thanks. We gotta jump. Woo! Gorgeous, isn't it? Here we go. We worked our way up to the other side of the waterfall here. We'll work our way around here now. Da-da-da. Boom, boom. Look at these mushrooms. Very interesting. Probably give you a whole different kind of experience if you ate them.
If the caves are
35
my guts,
subs. Cool.
This must be the place where the stones are first formed. The bacteria phosphoresce and rise, singing through the tunnels. Everything here is bound by the rise and fall, like a tide. Perhaps the whole island is actually underwater.
35 subs. Yeah, I had like 39 or 31 subs forever. Like when I had a bunch of old videos on there, because I made like short films in high school, in college. So like I had 31 subs like for the longest time. Once I started streaming regularly, it started growing and growing. But still slow. It's always slow. Oh look, it's a boat. I never noticed that. Those boats become relevant later. Oh wow, I've never been over here. Paper boats gathering over there. There's a later part of the game with paper boats. Oh, get me out of here. Kind of trapped. Can you let me out? Please? Darn, what do I do? So you should stream more. Up to you, really. The trick is, I mean, I don't know if there's a trick. I mean, I'm not an expert. I've done a lot, and so, like, I'm approaching 200, but, I mean, that's still not a lot. A lot would be maybe 1,000 and above, because then I can actually monetize, but, darn it, how do I get out of here? But, they say consistency is the key. Like, you don't have to do it a ton, but, like, you know, set a schedule maybe. So like I set a schedule. I'm like Tuesdays, Thursdays, Saturdays, Sundays with a certain kind of content usually planned each day. So like Sundays are specifically for theology class. Everything else is usually gaming. Yeah, if you have a consistent schedule and you get a fan base, then they know when to look for what you're doing. And so they'll check on those days. At least that's the story. But, you know, that's my schedule. But then I'll do something like tonight where it's just, I just wanted to play through something and relax. But, you know, if people have their notifications on, they know when you're live and they'll come and see. But I'm not sure if you're planning on doing video on demand or streaming. You don't have to stream. I mean, you can do a recording and then edit it and do it later. Which would almost be better, particularly on YouTube, because you can get the highlights of what you're doing, but I'm a little too lazy for that. I do live stuff. The benefit of that is I can interact with people who are watching live. Yeah, it's not the best webcam in the world, but hope you like it. You know, it's HD. Should last you. It hasn't given me any problems. Alright, now we can go up. Boom, 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 boom. Up we go. You can only walk. Like, I suppose that, yeah, that's why this game is called, it was the first game labeled a walking simulator. It's probably it's a good description. But yeah, you're stuck at this pace, you can't run. Really the point is to observe, enjoy the scenery, and take in the clues as to what the meaning of everything is. Overwatch matches, nice. Yeah, I've tried out Overwatch a little bit, but I'm not good enough at it at this point to be at all entertaining during a stream.
I remember the light they shone in my eyes to check for pupil contraction. It was like staring up at a moonlit sky from the bottom of a well. People moved at the summit, but I could not tell if you were one of them.
Ooh, we can swim a little bit. Nothing interesting really though. Alright, let me out. Fortnite? I've tried it a couple times. It's okay. It hasn't gripped me enough to be a regular Fortnite streamer though. I did a couple cooperative streams with some friends. It was pretty fun. I guess I get the appeal. I don't know if I have the interest enough to get good enough to actually ever win a match or something. Battle Royale is pretty crazy. Bum, bum, bum. I love the colors in these caves. Da da da. Woo. Nice. Okay, now we have to do a little bit of swim. Get through here. Bum bum bum. Nice. Sweet. Do I know what your icon looks like? You're talking about like your profile icon on YouTube? I haven't taken a close enough look at it. Okay. Now we're someplace else here. Here's another little clue as to what's going on. Underwater. There's like a car accident that happened. Interestingly. Alright, let's get out of here. Skeleton wolf thing. That's right, I think I remember seeing something wolf-like. Here we go. Ba-ba. To the light. Here we go. You drew it? Let me take another look at it while this is loading. Oh, it's already loaded, but dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. So if I go to Galaxy Gaming. Whoops. Why isn't this working? Oh, all I really need to do is go to my channel, go to the most recent video. There it is. We got time here. There it is. Okay. Yeah. Oh, that's interesting. Do you use like Microsoft Paint? Hard to zoom in on it, but I see it. Yeah. Nice. Now we're back out of the caves, and it is nighttime. And here comes the music. Nice. Remember screwing around with paint as a kid.
I sat here and watched two jets carve parallel white lines into the sky. They charted their course, and I followed them for 21 minutes until they turned off near Sanford and were lost. If I were a gull, I would abandon my nest and join them. I would starve my brain of oxygen and suffer delusions of transcendence. I would tear the bottom from my boat and sail across the motorways until I reached this island once again.
So basically, I'll give you the overall picture here of the game. It's like sort of an abstract exploration of grief. He keeps speaking to Esther, which clearly seems to be his deceased wife. And there's clues that she died in a car accident. Sketchbook. Let's go back this way. What time is it where you are? Is it about what? 8 o'clock? Something like that? Oops. No, you're not talking too much. Problem is you're the only viewer, so you're taking up the whole chat, which is inevitable. Nobody's really searching this game out, so people aren't finding it and joining the chat, so. Yeah, that's what happens if I don't play Minecraft. Like, Minecraft is a cult classic, so everybody's following it and watching it. But when I do my own kind of niche interest game, nobody shows up.
We will send a letter to Esther Donnelly and demand her answer. We will mix the paint with ashes and tarmac and the glow from our infections. We will paint a moon over the
yeah, it's good somebody's here.
And blue lights
First portion of the game, no one was around. Dun, 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 dun. So I guess this sort of song you're hearing, the beeping, it's actually Morse code in song form. And it means something. It might mean like Dear Esther or something. Pardon me. Coming towards the end of the game. Nice. 2-story house built in survival. Yeah, I did a game before my dragon quest. My goal was to do a dragon eventually, but when I explored the Nether, I couldn't find a fortress to get the supplies I needed, so I had to start over. So the quest I'm doing now is like
Hall by the roadside, by the exit for Damascus, all ticking and cooled, all feathers and remorse, all of these signals routed like traffic through the circuit diagrams of our guts, those badly written boats torn bottomless in the swells, washing us forever ashore.
Yeah, the quest I'm doing now, I'm just mooching off of a villager town that I found like right off the bat, so I'm not building anything until I kill that dragon. I once built, like back in the day when I played a lot of Minecraft on Xbox, I actually built an entire hockey arena in creative mode. That was pretty cool. And this big castle.
Here, I can see my armada. I collected all the letters I'd ever meant to send to you, if I'd have ever made it to the mainland, but had instead collected at the bottom of my rucksack, and I spread them out along the lost beach. Then I took each and every one, and I folded them into boats. I folded you into the creases, and then, as the sun was setting, I set the fleet to sail. Shattered into 21 pieces, I consigned you to the Atlantic, and I sat here until I'd watched all of you sink.
You like dragons? I own a bearded dragon. I don't know if you were here for this stream where I got to chill out with Spurgeon on my shoulder while I played. It's winter time, so he's starting to brumate. He just sort of sleeps all day. You gotta kill the dragon though, because you get like an egg. You can like put it on your pedestal. Hey, look, I accomplished something. Now, notice here, if you look at these mountains, right up ahead, it looks like a woman sleeping on her side. Sort of a hidden little thing. You see over here, there's like her head, goes up her shoulder, her hip. Then up on the top of her shoulder there is the radio tower. But it's really subtle if you're like looking for it.
When Paul keeled over dead on the road to Damascus, they resuscitated him by hitting him in the chest with stones gathered by the roadside. He was lifeless for 21 minutes, certainly long enough for the oxygen levels in his brain to have decreased and caused hallucinations and delusions of transcendence. I'm running out of painkillers, and the moon has become almost unbearably bright.
Huh. I'm not commenting too much on like the theories of what the game means, but I like to just sort of let it soak in. Notice over here, up on the edge over there, it looks like a silhouette of a human being. They do this a couple times. Like it looks like there's a human, but then see, like you can see him in the silhouette there. Then you go this way. If you go around, yeah, if you go.
I've begun my voyage in a paper boat without a bottom. I will fly to the moon in it. I've been folded along a crease in time, a weakness in the sheet of life. Now you've settled on the opposite side of the paper to me. I can see your traces in the ink that soaks through the fiber, the pulped vegetation. When we become waterlogged and the cage disintegrates, we will intermingle. When this paper aeroplane leaves the cliff edge and carves parallel vapor trails in the dark, we will come together.
Yeah, see here, this is where that silhouette was, but now it's gone. Sort of a creepy thing they put in the game. It's like there's humans, but then you try to find them and they're just not there. And as he was proceeding on his journey, see now they're making references to biblical stories. That's a reference to Paul's journey to Damascus. Huh. It all sounds very deep, but they let you interpret it yourself. And something, what's it say? And was come near to Damascus, yes. See, it's Damascus, Paul on the road to Damascus reference. And he, what's it say? He neither ate nor drank.
If only Donnelly had
He
experienced this, he would have realized he was his own shoreline, as am I. Just as I am becoming this island, so he became his syphilis, retreating into the burning synapses, the stones, the infection.
What's it say? And he was 3 days without sight. Yep. In the book of Acts. Bum, 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 bum. Getting closer to that radio tower. That's the goal. Something over here.
There are headlights reflected in these retinas. Too long in the tunnels of my island without a bottom. The sea creatures have risen to the surface, but the gulls are not here to carry them back to their nests. I've become fixed, open and staring, an eye turned on itself. I've become an infected leg whose tracking lines form a perfect map of the junctions of the M5. I will take the exit at mid-thigh and plummet to my Esther.
Huh. Alright, we're coming down to the home stretch here. Quite a view. Got all this writing here. Not reading much of it.
He was not drunk, Esther. He was not drunk at all. He had not drunk with Donnelly or spat Jakobsen back at the sea. He had not careered across the lost shores and terminal beaches of this nascent archipelago. He did not intend his bonnet to be crumpled like a spent tissue by the impact. His windscreen was not star-studded all over like a map of the heavens. His paintwork etched with circuit diagrams, strange fish to call the gulls away. The phosphorescence of the skid marks lighting the M5 all the way from Exeter to Damascus.
Huh. Who wrote this? Up we go. Came into. Getting windier. What the candles mean? I don't know. They tend to surround little clues, like they have pictures of car accidents and things. But yeah, rewatch the game or
the aerial.
Play it and it's
In my
like
passing, I will send news to each and every star.
very subtle. And then there's a game commentary, which I have done.
Dear Esther,
Oh,
I
here we
have
go.
burned the cliffs of Damascus.
Now I'm not
I've
controlling
dropped
it.
deep of it. My heart is my leg, and a black line etched on the paper all along this boat without a bottom. You are all the world like a nest to me. Eggs unbroken form like fossils, come together, send small black flowers to the air. From this infection, hope. From this island, flight. From this grief, love.
Shorter game than I planned. It's only been an hour and 6 minutes. And we jump. Notice there's a bird shadow there. So apparently you've turned into a bird of some kind. I'm just keeping... Let it fade. There's the boats.
Come back.
Plot twist. Oh, I love the music. Well, that is, believe it or not, the entirety of the game. It's only about an hour long, maybe an hour and a half if it's your first time playing, but yeah. There you go. Just a artistic experience. Really like it. It relaxes me, and played it a few times at this point, but yeah. There's like different interpretations of it. Clearly it's about a man grieving the death of his wife. You can kind of come to those conclusions if you look at the clues. But it's unclear if he's like on an island grieving it, or if the island itself is sort of a symbol for his grief. It's like there's things about it that just are weird and uncanny. Yeah. I hope you enjoyed. Whoever's watching, I see a couple people. There's one on Facebook. And of course you, Galaxy Gaming Productions. So thank you for watching. I've enjoyed myself. I always enjoy this game. I will send out the package in the morning, hopefully, if I can get to the post office before noon. I'm sleeping in pretty late because my vacation starts today. Yeah, yeah, I should do my next Minecraft stream tomorrow, about 7 o'clock, if all goes according to plan. And let me see. Yeah, Minecraft stream tomorrow, and then Sunday I'll have my theology class, and then probably won't be streaming Tuesday because I'll be heading to Buffalo with my dad, because I'll be leaving from there to go on vacation. But anyways, thanks for joining. If you're new, feel free to subscribe, and let's see here. Yeah, particularly on Facebook. If you're a Facebooker, feel free to subscribe there, because I'm close to doing the Level Up program. That'll be fun. Other than that, take a look at the description. There's some links to donate, check out social media, or do merch, whatever. Any of that interests you, take a look. If not, we'll see you around next time. Thank you all for watching, and bye-bye.